I think Dr. Ajit Gobi sir has joined. We will start the session. Sir, have you joined?
Yes, yes, Ivy.
Sir, welcome.
Yeah. Hope you could see me and I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you.
Participants, we have the 6th day of our ATAL online faculty development program on sustainable engineering and carbon neutrality. This is our last session. And after this session, we have a feedback session and an online quiz. So please stay on this session. So shall we start? I'll just give a brief.
Yes.
So Sri Ajit Gobi, he's a currently founder and CEO of Sonargia Services Private Limited based in Technopark, Thiruvananthapuram, a startup in renewable energy consultancy, research and training, first of its kind in portfolio from the Technopark Technology Hub, continuously contributes on energy transition drives and net zero initiative based on the last 35 years of renewable energy experience. Experience in government sector, he was formerly additional chief technical manager of ANAT, Department of Power, Government of Kerala. During the long ANAT career, he led incredible initiatives like first solar remote village electrification project of ANAT, designed, conceptualized and implemented the first solar IPP project in Kerala, installed several solar microgrids in remote tribal hamlets of Kerala and solar wind hybrid microgrids. He also had led the wind energy program for the state of Kerala and was instrumental in several policy initiatives in renewable energy. He also initiated technical consultancy group positioning Anert as a consultant in implementing renewable energy projects in the state. During his tenure in Anert, he has contributed as a resource person for various faculty training programs in renewable energy, initiated several capacity development programs in renewable energy for various stakeholders in renewable energy and hundreds of engineering students. He has worked as a manager in marketing and business development from 2005 to 17 at Sun Technics in renewable energy integrated company under the Energy AG Germany, and he was the principal. He served as the principal engineer at Parsons Brinkhoff Persily WSP from 11 to 13, 2011 to 13. And he did his PhD in solar energy from University of Malaysia, State University of Malaysia under the research group of renewable energy and environmental engineering, and MTech and BTech from College of Engineering Trivandrum, MBA from Indira Gandhi National University, and diploma in wind power development and use from Life's Academy of Civil. He conceptualized and implemented Anert's first remote solar village electrification project, which brought light into thousands of remote tribal families in Kerala. The project included several solar microgrids and thousands of solar home systems, remote tribal hamlets in Kerala. The project was funded by the Ministry of New Renewable Energy, MNRE, Government of India. And he took leadership in commissioning 2 megawatt solar photovoltaic power plant project at Palakkad, which is the first solar IPP project in the state of Kerala. He initiated solar PV consultancy division at Anert's positioning Anert as a consultant for implementing solar PV projects in the state and earning revenue to Anert. Solar technical consultancy, rooftop projects, more than 20 megawatt have been accomplished in major government buildings, including municipal corporations, universities, government courts, and technoparks. He leading the state program of wind energy development at Anert, and the state has got a total installed wind energy capacity of 71 megawatt and currently planning. He led the renewable energy consultancy group for Parsons branch of a global engineering consultancy organization for the renewable energy division in the Indian subcontinent, gained technical consultancy experience of several megawatt projects, including 25 megawatt solar power plant project at Gujarat Solar Park and international projects in China and Portugal. Was the project manager for 91.8 megawatt wind farm project in Kutch in Gujarat and has got experience in several wind farm resource assessment projects in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. And he worked as the leading techno management team under member that had launched the Indian operations of Sun Technics, the PV integrator company under the CONARGY, Conergy Group, Germany, and led the design of implementation of solar wind hybrid system at Leh, Ladakh, and several remote solar microgrid projects. He is currently the chair of IEEE Energy Society, Kerala chapter, and senior member of IEEE. He's trained Life Academy Sweden for wind power development and use during the period from 2010 to 11, and he recently trained PALE PV European Research Group organized by the University of Twente, Netherlands, potential monitoring tools and advanced operation and maintenance practice and predictability of PV performance. He trained National Institute of Solar Energy, INSE, and National Institute of Wind Energy, NIWE, in both solar and wind energy fields. He has earned international diploma in wind power development from Life Academy Sweden and MTech from College of Engineering Trivandrum. He is an international speaker, author, and reviewer of several papers on solar energy and various international journals. And recently, one of the research work published was recognized by the world-renowned publisher Elsevier as an article linked to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, helping to tackle some of the world's greatest challenges. So I welcome Dr. Ajit Gobi to take over the session. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Saibi, for the long introduction. Thank you so much. It was so detailed. Anyway, humbled to be here, honored to be here. So let me start my presentation. It's a great initiation by TKM College of Engineering. Especially it is on the Sustainable Development Goals, related to Sustainable Development Goals that we have been working. For me, I was into this for the last 3 decades, so I'm very fortunate to be here, very honored to be here. Let me start my presentation. I'll switch off my video meanwhile. Second. Hope my screen is visible. Can anyone
Yes, sir.
confirm?
Visible.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm not having a great connectivity here because I'm presenting it from Ernakulam, because I was attending some other global skill development summit here in Cochin. Thanks again. So my title is The Role of Renewable Energy in Achieving UN SDGs. Very relevant topic. We all are in some way involved into it as academicians and industrial people. My long career was completely into industry, but I've been in close touch with the academia because of my interactions with the IEEE Power Energy Society, and various roles. So in the title slide itself, I have given some SDGs which are very relevant. The most important being affordable and clean energy, SDG 7, and SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, SDG 12, and climate action, SDG 13. So all SDG 17 goals are very important. I picked the most important, and among this, of course, SDG 7 is very important, affordable and clean energy, because that provides the energy access to the people, to the community, to the society. We know the background of sustainable development goals. I remember the days I joined ANAT in 1990. So in 1992, the Earth Summit at Rio de Janeiro was held. There was actually a lot of enthusiasm created at that point of time, I remember. We also prepared posters in office. I had some posters in my office because our organization was related to renewable energy. So renewable energy is always related to sustainable development because it mitigates in some way climate change. So 178 countries adopted Agenda 21 at that point of time. And later in 2000, the Millennium Summit was held in New York, and which declared the 8 Millennium Development Goals. Later, in continuation of that, summit on SDG, Sustainable Development, not SDG, Sustainable Development was held in South Africa. These are the Millennium Development Goals declared in 2000 at the New York Summit, which is actually the basis of the SDGs later came. I think you might have discussed a lot in this FTP, but still, I wanted to give an introduction to my discussions on renewable energy. So this is the aim was primarily to eradicate poverty, as we know. The first one being eradicate poverty, extreme poverty, and hunger. So in SDGs also, 17 SDGs, the first priority is, of course, eradication of hunger. And of course, the other important achieving universal primary education, gender justice, reduce child mortality, improve maternal health, combat HIV. The health concerns are a lot in this MDGs because the world was struggling. Ensure environmental sustainability. Well, that was a very important. So when the environmental sustainability was discussed at that point of time with an importance, then the global partnership. Now it is 17 of SDG. So they indicated the global partnership. It's not possible without the partnership. Then this is the background of SDG, 17 SDGs. Again, there was a conference on sustainable development. That was a conference in continuation to Rio held in 92. So after 20 years of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, so it held in 2012, then decided to launch set of SDGs. In 13, the UN General Assembly set up a member of open working group. Later, in 2015, 17 SDGs were declared. I think we all know about the 17 SDGs. The number one being the first priority. As per the earlier Millennium Development Goals, also given priority to no poverty. So here also the first being the no poverty, and second zero hunger, third good health, four quality education, five gender equality, six clean water and sanitation, and seven affordable and clean energy. So affordable and clean energy coming as the seventh priority, which will be discussed a lot here. And other SDGs, the importance of all these SDGs, especially 11 sustainable cities and communities, and 12 responsible consumption and productions, and 13 the climate action are very important to renewable energy related activities, because renewable energy is the best option for mitigating climate changes. All of those are related. For example, reduced inequality is very important. 16 peace, justice, and strong institutions very important. Without, we all dream for a world without war. Unfortunately, the war is there. So you cannot bring justice or achieve SDGs when war is going on. So that is the biggest threat, according to me. So I won't start with I wanted to start with the first SDG because I won't go in detail in the other SDGs than what I described in my the first slide, important to renewable energy. But this is very important. These pictures are from the UN website. So we are all fighting to end poverty. So poverty, man-induced poverty is also there. That because of war. I'm not mentioning the wars happening around the world, but it is very unfortunate. So poverty and hunger is happening. See, imposed hunger, environment, imposed hunger is very bad. So it's extremely bad. Man-made poverty and man-made hunger. So we have to eradicate poverty. So coming to poverty, I have some important names coming to my mind. First of course, 98 Nobel Prize winner, our renowned Amartya Sen. He received his Nobel Prize in economic science in 98. His best known book, I recommend all of you to read it. We are all from the engineering background, but this helps us to strategize our work on SDGs. Poverty and Famine, an essay on entitlement and deprivation, is a very important book to read. Recommending this book to all of you. And another, the first Nobel laureates, Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo, the first couple who received the Nobel Prize for economics. So their book, Poor Economics, is also a very book I'm recommending. They discusses the practical way of achieving um, the removal of poverty. So in their essays and their, especially in Poor Economics, this book, they are elaborating on the schemes which empower the rural folks through incentives, the direct incentives. So these kind of things will, for example, the Kudumbashree scheme of Kerala is one of the best examples how we empower people. So Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo, very important persons in the perspective for removal of poverty. Okay, so having said that, I'm jumping directly to affordable and clean energy. Um, so this discusses a lot of energy access. So energy poverty is a reality. It is the lack of access of modern energy services. So I took this figure from yesterday from the IRNA, International Renewable Energy Agency, IRNA, IRNEA. So IRNA's SDG report was published, recently published only. I took these figures from the SDG report of SDG progress report of IRNA. They're publishing it in every year. So 666 million without access to electricity. It was about 1,000 million or 1 billion a few years back, but we are achieving to some extent. But there are some unfortunate facts there. 2.1 billion without access to clean cooking also. See, clean cooking, I'm remembering the days when I joined ANERT. We used to work on popularizing clean cooking. So we popularized the smokeless ovens or Parishat. So big campaigns were there. So which are energy efficient ovens than the 8% or 3%, 5% efficient conventional ovens. These are more combustion is happening in this regulated environment of Parishat, or that is the colloquial name, or the improved oven, improved chula. So which helps a lot to avoid the dangerous gases. So 2 billion without access to clean cooking is the reality. So you can also compare with what was our life in 80s and what is the life in 2025. A lot of firewood was used in our homes earlier. So now the firewood is used in the clean cooking is in the cooking area is very less. People jumped to the gas status. In between, you might have seen the transition to the kerosene stoves. So kerosene stoves were popular in the beginning of, maybe in the later period of 80s, I remember. So these are the very important things. So more than 80% of these people are from the sub-Saharan Africa. That is very unfortunate. More than 90%, I would say. So renewable energy is the best solution to get access to them, because I personally have the experience of visiting Tanzania once. So that was a alumni program of Life Academy Sweden. So we were taken for a solar wind hybrid workshop. So we were traveling all the way from Arusha in Tanzania to 300, 400 kilometers. I couldn't see any conventional electricity lines there. So all remote. There was no access to energy, all using kerosene stoves. I could see markets selling small solar panels, 3 watt, 4 watt, 5 watt, 6 watt. It was not only affordable. So they are using these panels for charging their small batteries. So the reality is very unfortunate reality. The access is very rare there. Conventional energy access is very rare there. Okay. Um, I think I'm audible. Just confirm again because I'm.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, affordable and clean energy. This slide I took it yesterday from this SDG progress report. So look at these figures. So there is progress. Of course, there is progress. So in 2015, 958 million, around 1,000 million people, 1 billion people without access. Now 666 billion. So around 60% is without access. And clean cooking improved a lot. And renewable energy share in total final energy consumption has increased lightly, but it's going quickly. Then you can see the energy intensity is measured in a ratio of primary energy and GDP. You can see an improvement of 3.87 billion joules per US dollars. That means you can have primary energy intensity can of lesser money, with lesser money you can have energy. So it's an improvement. Then see the international financial flows. So quite a good improvement. You can see 12.1 US billion dollars to 21.6 US billion US dollars. So see this is very important, this figure. Still we need another 150 billion US dollars to address the climate target of 1.5 degrees centigrade that was set in the Paris Climate Agreement in 2015. So a lot to go, a lot to go. Maybe because of this drive, it has reached a double. Still a lot to go to achieve the now the carbon dioxide concentrations are actually going ahead without any limits. So alarming situation in terms of the climate change. That we are seeing this in real time. So the the sudden floods, droughts, and it was visible to us as well. Remember the 2017 Oki, which we lost more than 100 fishermen lives, and the mega flood in 2018 in Kerala, and in 2019 Puttumala landslide disaster. Again, last year the Churalmala Mundakai disaster. He lost several, more than around 500 lives. So lives. So this is happening in real time in Kerala as well. So this is a reality now. Climate change is a reality. Climate is changing. So the global community, the national countries should intervene immediately to address this. That's why addressing SDG 7 is very important. So you can see the per capita, watts per capita, installed renewable energy generating capacity in developing and developed countries. So it's slightly increased to 478 watts per capita. But there are some unfortunate figures or not welcoming figures, I will tell you. So this is the unsettling truths of energy divide across regions. See, sub-Saharan Africa is green. Sub-Saharan Africa, you can see the green part, which is without access to energy. So the energy poverty is a reality. We know about the poverty, but energy poverty is a reality. See, more than 80% of people without access to electricity in sub-Saharan Africa. And you can see Central and Southern Asia. So Asian part is also having this trouble. And Eastern and Southeastern Asia. Then comes Northern Africa and Western Asia. Then comes the rest of them. So the major portion is sub-Saharan Africa. This is an unsettling truth. And look at this. This is a figure, um, a, a crucial figure, or a figure which is alarming. I took it from this IRNA report. So here you can see the installed capacity in watts. So we have seen this figure from 2013 to 2004, 23, it raised to 478. So in Latin America, in Northern America, it doubled. In Central Asia and Southern Asia, it doubled, but very less. That is, it comes, India is also coming into this region. And Oceania has made a very good progress. But see the sub-Saharan Africa, this is the area. See, whereas 1,184 is the installed capacity, per capita installed capacity of renewables. Renewable energy generating capacity, but see the per capita capacity here, it's 25 watts. So see the energy divide, see the energy divide. See the energy divide. It's close to the Western Asia and Northern Africa, and it is close to Central Asia and Southern Asia. See, you cannot compare with the other part of the world. So very unfortunate. So this is the immediate priority globally, if you think. Then I'm directly jumping to the Indian scenario. How the renewables. This is the latest figure on 31st July. So we are feeding 52 gigawatt of energy of wind power, and almost double we are feeding, more than double solar power. We are feeding on 19 gigawatts to the grid. Out of around 20 gigawatt is from rooftop power. So 237 gigawatt is coming from solar, wind, and connected sources. And we have a lot from the large hydro, but a large hydro is also renewables, of course. And among that, you look at the ground-mounted solar, the solar concentration in Kerala. Kerala, it was around maybe 16 megawatt in 2016, I think, if I'm correct. See the installed capacity of rooftop solar on 31st July 2020, it's 1,444.20, 1,444 megawatt, as reported by KCB to MNRE, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. And the total is 1,800, nearly 1,000. So more than 1/3 of, almost half of our generation, installed capacity, not generation, installed capacity is coming from renewables. So access to energy becoming affordable with the solar. Because solar, the levelized cost of energy, LCOE, has came down below 3. So when I was installing 2 megawatt solar project, that was the first IPP project. During the introduction, it was also told. So in 2015, when it was something around when I did some modeling utilizing Red Screen and SAM. SAM is an advanced software from NRE, National Renewable Energy Laboratory, system advisory model. You can also get a free download from SAM, NREL SAM. You can do some play around that software, do some engineering design. Also, you can get some financial figures, risk mitigation, and environmental analysis. So I did an exercise at that point of time using SAM. My figure was something around 5 LCOE. So it came down to rupees 3. Now it is lower than 3. So So it's more affordable now. Rooftop solar is more affordable. Rooftop solar maybe 3.54. You will get the LCOE. So this picture, this is my own solar power plant. I installed it 3 years back. So this picture, it was very difficult for me to install solar plant there because of a lorry bucker structure, tilted roof and all. And the RCC comes along with the tiles. So it was very difficult. So still I managed it. You can see the typical generation happening the last month. So yeah, this month. So today 29, the 13th. Today is 30, 29. I took it yesterday. Screenshot. You can see this was at 28 units. So still per kilo in a sunny day. So 4th was a sunny day, I think. So 4th in a sunny day, you will get around something around 28 units in a 5 kilowatt plant, means 5 into 4. So 4 is the annual average generally predicted, but you will get here around 5. So solar is a very right option for Kerala, no doubt about that, because our sun peak hours, we solar engineers generally define it by a metric, sun peak hours. So our sun peak hours is something around 5.5 to 6, whereas in Germany the sun peak hours will be 3.5. In Finland it will be 3. So we are very fortunate to have sun power throughout, or maybe rain of course affects us, but still we can manage it for sun peak hours. For sun peak hours is around 4. So for affordable and clean energy, of course, the concepts of RE microgrid, solar electrification are very important. I worked a lot on these fields in Kerala, and also when I was working in international corporations. So we had a very important experiment in 2005 when I was working with the Conergy AG in Germany. So these people, they asked us to install 25 solar microgrids in Chhattisgarh. So very challenging situation, because the installations were happening in Bastar, the Naxalite affected villages. So it took, gestation period is very important. So you can install it very quickly, very short gestation period with the simple steps. So RE microgrids are excellent for remote electrification. So my experiment here is around 12 microgrids I did in on behalf of ANAT in 2001 in remote tribal colonies of Idiki, Idiki, Malappuram, and Thrissur, even in Pathanamthitta district. So it is actually, you all know about the concept of microgrid and all. There are urban microgrids and rural microgrids. So urban microgrids are becoming very common now internationally. So we select a group of interconnected load and sources together. It can be different sources. Battery is becoming a major source now. So you can operate in grid operated mode and in island mode. Of course, you can make it as a virtual power plant, VPP, and model it as a virtual power plant, and you can make it as a single entity to operate from a computer, so that you can optimize the loads, you can optimize the resources, and of course you can deploy the load according to the resources and the situations. So the controllability is very important in a microgrid. Either it is in a urban environment or in a rural environment. So the blockchain enabled microgrids are very common now internationally. There are blockchain enabled microgrids. I am also part of the IEEE committee on blockchain enablement, or maybe on that standards, building that standard for enabling blockchain into RE microgrids. So it's very important that you will get individual identity and security for individual houses. If you have 100 houses and 50 houses with rooftop power plants, and you will get the real-time trading, peer-to-peer trading, and the consumers become prosumers. And if it is connected to grid also, you can trade in real time with the connected utility grid and the internal grid, and see that which is more useful or affordable for them. So it's a real-time calculation utilizing this blockchain enabled software and all. So very interesting what you call modernization happening in microgrids, which is very important for popularization of microgrids in both urban and rural environment, addressing SDG 7. Of course, you can interact with me during the presentation as well, but I prefer we will have a Q&A after 6 or 6:10. We will 20 minutes. We will have the Q&A. So this experiment I did in Panbuti, remote microgrid project with vertical wind turbines. We used the Savonius type, but unfortunately the wind side was not performing as expected, contributing very little. Though the connected load, the installed capacity of wind was very less. Wind was high, 5 kilowatt, and solar 2 kilowatt. I got the major contribution from 2 kilowatt solar only. So that means the contribution from wind was very less, even though it was an area where you have sufficient wind. You have sufficient wind in Ponmudi. It's on even from the studies in 90s. We conducted the first wind resource assessment in Kerala. So if you go for a small wind hybrid station, I recommend a horizontal axis turbine than a vertical axis turbine. But still, there are issues like when of safety, and the ruggedness of the turbine is very important. So these are the things which are to be considered while installing a small wind hybrid station. The wind turbine should be rugged, suiting to our environment. So okay, this is another example, international environment example from Arusha, Tanzania. I took it from, so you can see how it's spinning. The small wind turbine. It's actually installed. I took it from during my training there. So it's spinning at Babati. There is a hospital there. You can see the hospital. This hospital is powered by PV also, and PV and wind is powering that remote station. Because this is the hospital. You can see the PV solar panels. So there they are using. They are keeping the vaccines there. So remote electrification aspect is covered there. Okay. Go quickly. More pictures. And solar wind hybrid station is also useful in boats and in other places in remote area where it is needed. So I had some exercise in Homer. Homer is a microgrid, or maybe a hybrid RE microgrid modeling software. There are different Homer versions. Homer Quick is an example, a portal-based stuff which you can utilize on online, no license needed. Homer Pro is actually costly. If you do Homer Pro, I did this exercise, and this is from a paper we published with some of the internship students who did internship with me. So they visited Ponmudi and This is actually, you can see the in Homer you can do the resource assessment. See, you can see the wind pattern, you can see the solar pattern, the monthly average global horizontal radiation, the dip here because of the rain, and here you can see the because of the monsoon season you can see higher wind. Okay, then if you deploy the load, and I deployed PV aero generator, that means the small wind turbine, and of course I added storage battery, added converter, and I deployed this. And this is the schematic diagram. I selected the equipments based on my configurations and requirements. Then I selected this PV module, Canadian Solar, small wind, storage battery, system converter. Then the software also will suggest this pictures. This is the result I observed. You can see that the wind makes a contribution, of course, based on the simulations. 70% of the simulations happening from PV, and small wind, of course, 28%. So PV, though it is a windy area, you can see PV is still making a greater contribution to this. Because wind is always seasonal, it's very important. You can see some more results. Here LCOE is calculated by this software. So LCOE is also calculated by Homer. You can see the LCOE for wind is very high, and for solar is coming very low, 1.84 only. And you can see the CU of capacity utilization factor. So small wind 14, and PV array is normal, 16, above 16 is normal. Based on my experience also, it is around 16, 17. So I've seen some tenders, KCBs is paying for the levelized cost of, capacity factor to be above 21. Still, it is very difficult. I feel like otherwise you have to increase the capacity factor by extra generation. I don't know. So capacity factor, for my experience from PV, is something around 16, and because the technology has improved a lot, because you will get something around 18. Okay. And coming to the sustainability evaluation. So this picture, it's very important. I took it from a paper from Ilskog, 2008. She's a scientist who has published the first. I have seen this is the first sustainability evaluation paper. She's based out of Sweden. She defined technical, economical, social, ethical, environmental, and institutional indicators, which are very important for the sustainability point of view. Technically, the design should be good. The O&M, the operation maintenance should be good. You should have a very good economic development, the financial side, and you have to have an employment generation perspective, and social, ethical. It should be accepted by the society. There should not be any conflict. For example, you may be remembering the conflict happened when the wind turbines were installed in Attapadi region. So there was an issue. So the societal impact is very important. It should be accepted by the local community, and there should be some revenue attributed to the local tribes. So that is the government of Kerala has come up with a government order providing 5% of generation cost to the local tribes. So it's very important. Local social, ethical development and environmental development is very important. And this is very important for me, the institutional side, the organization. Is ANAT is looking at it, or KCB is looking at it, or district collectorate is looking at it. The project is, or local self-government, Gram Panchayat is looking at it, or district Panchayat is looking at it. So we should have an important role in it, along with the local self-government institutions, to see that the project is sustainable. So you should have the overall overhead costs, and if the battery is there for an off-grid project, you have to demarcate fund for adding battery bank once it is over. the battery is damaged. So it's very important to do aspect. So the institutional factor is very important. So these are some more some elaboration on the same concept. You can, this also I took from this paper. So you can evaluate the sustainability if you have an off-grid project or a hybrid project or a project of in the rural area. You can evaluate this on this evaluation is done on a paper on grid and home solar system. It's a hybrid. This is a hybrid mini grid, and this is solar mini grid, and this is solar home system. So on various solar systems, this is on grid, this is on hybrid mini grid, and this is on solar mini grid, and this is solar home system. And they have evaluated the sustainability indexes or these indicators. Okay. And switching to the sustainable cities, because we have limited time to discuss all these points. So cities are becoming more important to the population because people are migrating from the rural area to the cities. So more activity can be done in cities for addressing the SDGs. See, I cannot ignore this slide because CIAL, Cochin International Airport Limited, has come up with a 100% solar powered airport. You all remember years back with the 40 megawatt. I was fortunate to be there in the first initial 14 megawatt BOM evaluation, on-site evaluation. I remember the days when I was evaluating 14 megawatts at CIAL, but they have a lot of projects in the pipeline at that point of time. They realized it, and 40 megawatt they completed. They have many experience. They started the 1 megawatt rooftop. They have the carport electrification solar rooftop, and they have the man-made ponds electrified with the this photovoltaic panels. These are the floating solar panels. So very impressive performance from the CIAL. In a city perspective, it's very important. See, these are the anode installations, as part of the Solar City project. So the important thing is the rollout was within 6 months, hardly 6 months. So 17 megawatt installed with the 500 installations, more than 500 installations at record time. The initial assessment was done by the Fraunhofer Institute, Germany, and this is an amazing achievement based on the very short gestation period. And coming to wind, you can have a small integration, building integrated small wind turbines, but you should be careful on this. Like, see, if you install it in skyscrapers, of course there will be. This is a model. I took it from the UN Climate Technology Center and Network website. You can see how the high-rise buildings are connected, interlinked with a horizontal axis wind turbines, building integrated wind turbines. The example from Bahrain, they're claiming that more than 1,000 megawatt hour annual generation, and more than 10% of energy. So this has to be verified, but this is there in the website. So small wind I already explained. These are some of the consultancy experiments I did. This is from the Technopark. We installed it 7 years back. One of the wonderful installations, third phase of Technopark in Ayamuna. Unfortunately, I'm sitting there in Technopark first phase itself as part of my new job as the CEO of Zonergia Services Private Limited. We own consultancy, training, and energy on renewables. So this is in third phase actually. The third phase, Ganga Yamuna Tin Tower buildings approached ANERT for installing solar power plants as part of their renewable energy purchase obligation, RPO, renewable energy purchase obligation. So we installed it. with four string inverters of ABB, and two numbers each in each installation. You can see another example of how environmentally this is connected. Look at this plant of this. I installed it 9 years back, 8 years back in Cochin, in Thrissur municipality. See, the project is 100, 200 kilowatt. See the environmental benefits. You can get these figures from red screen. If you do the evaluation of red screen, when I was using it 15 years, 20 years, 15 years back, it was licensed. It was not licensed. So for the last 6 years, it is a licensed version. For academic people, you have to, for purchasing this little bit costly, around $800 per annum. You will get more licenses. Number of laptops can be used is more, but it's very costly. But at that point of time, it was very, it was freely available. But still, you can use it. Desktop version where you can do all this work. You won't get the reports. So it is a trial version available. It's Red Screen Expert. Red Screen Expert is a trial. You will get trial version and do all these exercises. So this environmental, see it's around 340 tons. So roughly 300 tons of carbon dioxide avoidance done in a 200 kilowatt plant. So for a 100 kilowatt plant, 150 is assured. So 62 cars avoided from an year, equivalent to 78 barrels of crude oil not consumed. So all these figures, you can make similar figures for 100 kilowatt also. Even a small rooftop can do this kind of job for environmental protection. Floating solar projects are becoming a very new normal now because these are land neutral projects. These projects are from Kerala only. The first being the Banasura Sagar project. You can see from Banasura Sagar on Ferrosuman floats, and now this one from the NTPC Kayangulam, 92 megawatt, one of the biggest projects in India. See, very promising, and this I already explained. So, and in city, these are some more projects are coming in. But in city areas like highway rooftop is more prominent than dam rooftop and canal rooftop. So this project actually very important if you have a straight stretch and you have connectivity of transformers or substations besides. You can have modular or string inverters and generate power because you don't have shades in highway rooftops. Okay. And covering SDG 5, SDG 7, and SDG that was SDG 11. Then this is SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. It's also very related to renewable energy and circular economy, more connected to circular economy. So how we can reduce our consumption. That's why it is called responsible consumption. Reduce, reuse, recycle, repair. These are part of the mantra of circular economy. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and repair. So I have seen a lot of models of recycling. Solar panels of larger corporations are now they have to do this signing of recycling contracts when they go for larger solar panel, larger solar installations. But I'm worried about the rooftop installation. So this will be a challenge. How you dump this, how you are going to, what is your recycling plan for rooftop installations? So this is a worry. So we have to be responsible, and we can reuse is another mantra. So in Kerala, you have a lot of examples how you reuse it. Of what you call recycle it. So these are very important. Today I also seen a session at Global Kerala Skill Council Summit. It was a suggestion from a speaker, or they are actually doing how they recycle the rubberized products like chappals, and how it was not happened before, but they have come up with a new idea of recycling, collecting the old leather goods and chappals and recycling it. I have seen another example from KSRTC. Their old buses are they converting to stores for the fishermen folks to sell their ideas. And I have seen libraries made with this old KSRTC buses. So it is a kind of it's a way we use it. And also some of my alumni from Sweden, from Africa, they took the old wind turbines from Tamil Nadu, because the bigger new wind turbines are not affordable for them. So with some repair and replacing of or repair of these are fast, what do you call, Danish turbines, fixed speed Danish turbines. So it is with the gear. So they have to do some gear overhauling. So there are very good very good technicians there in Tamil Nadu who repair it. I've seen it from Kayathar region, the biggest region in Asia, where you can see a lot of wind turbines around like mushrooms. Once you travel from Tamil Nadu to Tirunelveli, Nagarkovil to Tirunelveli, you can see it. I have seen excellent technicians who do this kind of repair. So Africans are taking the used wind turbines because it's only affordable to them. Okay, and climate action, of course, it's very important. So renewable energy is the best mitigation solution for climate action. So it is part of the climate action. So globally, there are a lot of movements for climate mitigation. It's like NGOs, government. A lot of governments have climate department. Kerala state government is also having a department on climate. So governments are giving more importance to climate action. It is very important for addressing SDG. So I'm concluding with two more slides. I generally conclude with these slides. It's about donut economics. It's proposed by economist Kate Rawath. She has come up with this idea on this book on donut economics. She's a professor in UK in economics. She proposed the ring of donut, which represents an ideal state. So what Kate was telling us, it's an ideal state. You can see with ideal state with ecological ceiling. The ceiling, if you go beyond this ceiling, you have climate change, you have land conversion, you have biodiversity issues, you have ozone layer depletion, you have ocean acidification, you have chemical pollution. So you are making an ideal state where you have a very good habitat, good sanitation, gender justice. There is no demarcation on religion, caste, creed. People living in harmony. So നമ്മൾ മാവേലി നാടുവാണിടും എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ it is more relevant to Kerala. So Kerala has excellent systems on local self-government. Our local self-government system is one of the best examples in India. So only thing is we don't have energy to be self-sufficient. That is the trouble I am seeing. So roughly 70% of energy we are importing from the central grid. So see the leap in solar rooftops. Within a few years, from 16 megawatt to 1,500 megawatt. It's a big journey. Only thing is the challenges are there because renewables are intermittent. It's very important that you address the challenges. The challenges can be addressed. Of course, there are international examples on addressing challenges. You should have a digital grid. For me, to address this, these are the 3 steps we have to incorporate. One is the digital grid, the grid visibility. Improve your grid, you modernize your grid, make it smart grid, make it a digital grid. Number 1. Number 2, of course, the incorporation of the adaptation of storage. Battery energy storage systems are very important to address the intermittency. Third, intelligent forecasting. You need intelligent forecasting to address or maybe to get an idea for the load dispatch centers, what exactly happening and what is around. The visibility is very important, especially hundreds of remote solar stations are switching to the grid and suddenly dropping energy because of cloud. It's a challenging environment, but it has been addressed through digital grid, adaptation of energy storage and battery energy storage systems, and of course with intelligent forecasting and excellent systems like VPP, virtual power plants, and local level grid management and intelligent systems. So that's it from me. So contribute for sustainable development goals. To all goals. Has almost eradicated the extreme poverty. It was only 0.7. It has reduced to 0.5 last. Now it is almost, there will be a declaration in November, eradication of extreme poverty. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity. I'm open to the questions. Thank you so much. Let us, yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. Participants can ask questions.
You can unmute and ask questions. If you have anything or anything on solar and wind, where I have the expertise.
Participants can type the questions in the chat window as well, or can unmute and ask.
Yeah, please. You can write in the chat window or you can unmute and ask. Any questions? It can be something around renewable energy, nothing specific to SDG. Please. I need to learn from you as well. How does one question has come?
How does solar energy contribute to achieving SDG 7, affordable or clean energy?
Yeah, Chem Joseph. Actually, this has been discussed actually. So SDG 7 is very important because it's affordable and clean energy. It should be affordable and clean. That's why I was telling the story of sub-Saharan Africa, because they are poor people. Because extreme poverty and poverty is a reality. So it should be affordable. That's why SDG 7 is important. It should be affordable and it should be clean. Clean means, see, we have been learning a lot on um, the clean energy, because if you go for fossil fuels, of course, we are contributing to the climate crisis. And even clean cooking is very important, because if you have kerosene, if you have the conventional firewood stoves without any efficiency, you will be, it is equivalent to smoking several cigarettes um, in a day by a women folk. So it's so harming. It's equivalent to, there was a statistics saying that more than 20 cigarettes a day. That we used to, I don't know scientific evidence on that, but it's very harmful to have a kitchen where you use conventional firewood without any control. It was there, but that is changing. But in sub-Saharan Africa, this is a reality. This is how people are susceptible to the what you call diseases connected to your what you call breathing kind of issues will be there. A lot of dangerous gases you are inhaling. And what policy, another from Jim Joseph, what policy measures are needed to ensure equitable access to solar energy for marginalized communities under SDG10, these inequalities? It's a very good question. Appreciate for that, Jim. Um, Equitable access to solar is very important to marginalized communities. It's not happening. It's still not happening. Is already I illustrated from the figure. The installed capacity of renewable energy in sub-Saharan, a global perspective, I'm telling, in sub-Saharan Africa is 45. It raised from 25 watt installed capacity to 45 watt peak, whereas more than 1,000 watt peak or 1 kilowatt peak is the what you call the capacity. If you compare the so per capita based installed capacity of renewables, it is very lower. So it is not addressed. So marginalized communities, for example, they are not getting the sufficient energy. That's why this is a reality. What you call energy poverty is a reality. In Kerala also, if you look at the energy access, the fishermen community is facing a lot of trouble because of diesel consumption while they are utilizing boats for fishing. So they're using diesel. So it is not clean. There should be efforts, because there are innovations to address this. The boats which can use solar energy is available. So it should be more affordable also. So clean energy should be affordable as well. So addressing the marginalized communities are very important when considering or address when considering the solutions for SDG issues. So that's why UN is giving importance to assess the SDG implementation status. IRNA, International Renewable Energy Society, I've been watching for a long time. So this time, yesterday, I thought of looking at it. I have at some old figures. Then I suddenly understood that this is the status. The world is not addressing the climate change in a good way, because the bilateral and international situations, the warfare on tariff, all these things are affecting the marginalized people. And of course, war, I was telling about in the initial stage. There's no sustainability or sustainable development if there is a war. If you devastate a complete area and put those people in hunger, then what justice you are bringing? Then what justice you are bringing? You are absolutely moving away from justice. You are absolutely moving away from the UN Geneva conventions. So it's very important that you stop war and and then only the sustainability values will be getting to the world. Thank you, Chem, for giving these thoughts.
Sir, there was one more question in that. In what ways can solar energy adoption help reduce greenhouse gas emissions and support SDG climate action?
Okay, I didn't see that. Okay, it is. Can you read it again?
In what ways can solar energy adoption help reduce greenhouse gas emissions and support SDG 13 climate action?
Okay. It's very impressive question. See, if you look at renewable energy, it always addresses the greenhouse reduction. So, because these are green fuels, carbon neutral fuels, that's why the state of Kerala has put a target of 100% renewable energy by 2040 and 100% net zero by 2050, and India by 2070. So these targets are made based upon the belief that renewable energy integration becomes almost full. So in the power mix, we are aiming at 100% renewable energy mix by 2040. It is possible also, because I'm looking at the pace of solar rooftop going on in Kerala. So if it is going on like this, if you address this intermittency, it is possible. If you have a digital grid, if you have a local level management, you have VPPs in place, you have microgrids with very good interactions. If you have your behavioral or attitude of switching, or you address your EV charging with the solar energy, you offset it with the solar or renewables, than use the fossil fuel. So if you do an activity, you can reduce the greenhouse gases. There is no doubt about that. So solar energy, wind energy, and all the renewables are almost carbon neutral if you compare with the fossil fuels. So, for example, if you do a red screen analysis, you can see that a 1 kilowatt plant can address the environmental side, the pollutions, or the issues. It is equivalent to almost planting 10 trees. And so this is the way it is addressed. Thank you for that question.
Thank you, sir. Participants, do any other questions you can unmute and ask? Any other participant has any question?
How solar energy can, Chem is again coming with the questions. Thank you. Thank you that you are asking questions. Everyone is having questions, I know, but of course we are online. There is a limitation also for another 5 minutes to be here for me, because I have to connect to a train. Cochin. So how solar energy can improve health? Sorry, tell me.
Yes, sir, you can proceed.
How solar energy can improve health and well-being in rural areas in line with SDGs, SDG 3. Okay. This is also an important question. See, you can connect, of course, solar energy, because modern energy services comes once you are connected to electricity. For example, I'll tell you an example. Your health or well-being is connected to modern energy services always. For example, if you have you're living in an area where mosquitoes are there, it is important that you can at least connect a fan in your room when you are sleeping. So connecting a fan means electricity. Solar energy can quickly bring electricity to that area. And most important thing is the example I illustrated in Babati village in Tanzania, how solar energy and wind energy used for keeping vaccines, right? So vaccine is kept at their required temperatures so that these vaccines are can be used for emergency purpose to the rural folks. So I remember the days when I joined Mananthavadi in Wayanad district in 90. When I joined ANAT, during my induction program, there are some installations of solar vaccine um, solar vaccine boxes supplied to us by Government of India. So we distributed these solar refrigerators or solar vaccine boxes. The kind of refrigerator stuff, small, very miniature. We distributed to tribal areas in 90s. So 35 years back. So of course, renewable energy can contribute a lot. Priyush has come up with the question. As we know, government is promoting EVs. It is not, it's actually carbon neutral. EVs are carbon neutral because it's very simple, no? If you compare with an IC engine, as engineers and as professors, you know that it simplifies the process of your machine or your vehicle. Then, but the issue is like to how much extent you are making it carbon neutral. You are utilizing you are connecting evening. Everyone is connecting in the evening and increasing the peak load. That is a major issue. We have to change the behavioral pattern or change of pattern of charging the EVs in off-peak period. Or you have to encourage, the government should encourage, and government is also taking steps to encourage putting this one in public charging stations, in government buildings, or engineering colleges or colleges. During daytime, they can charge, which is off-peak period. And if you have a solar charging station, there should be a mandatory clause that using solar, you can offset it. For example, typically I will give an example. I made a study for a Kalamassery EV station here. That is with some internship students came to me. So from data for the 6 months I analyzed it, I understood that around at least 50 kilowatt peak solar power plant is needed to offset it. It's based upon the per day concentration of EV cars coming for charging to offset whatever you are consuming. I think you got the idea. So a consumption will be happening based on the cars coming for charging. So during the day, this much of consumption is happening to offset the complete consumption, because this consumption is generally happening from the fossil fuels, because we are importing 70% of energy from fossil fuels, mostly. Of course, we are importing wind energy and solar also. So this has to be, so wherever you go for solar charging stations or charging stations, I personally recommend that it should be offsetted by renewable energy. Solar is the best option. Only thing is, whenever a private builder or private entity comes for installing a charging station, the government should take a condition that at a facility, maybe it is not possible in the same area or same building, they have to make that at least 50 kilowatt capacity of PV to offset it. So that is one solution. Thank you. Whether in future a complete electric vehicle is possible in transportation, because still now India still depends on fossil fuel based electricity generation. In future, complete electric vehicle is possible in all transportation. It's actually happening. In Norway, you don't have a registration happening in other IC engines, because 100% registration happening in electric vehicles. In China, every maybe more than 50% of the cars running in the road is now EVs. It's going like that. Norway, it is more than 70%. I understand that. So it's happening. So if you you are increasing because it's always a way of advancing carbon neutrality, because these are carbon neutral technologies. The important thing is, if you address this, what energy you are using for charging the electric vehicles. Are you using so nuclear is one of the options. I'm not remembering his name. Fujiomi Takahoma is. Her name is Takahoma. Takahoma, the disaster. I think some of you remember the Japanese Fukushima disaster. So this I forgot his name. I already spelled it. He was actually behind this Fukushima, and after this Fukushima, he was inspiring. But his plan was utilizing, the initial plan was utilizing EV charging, use the nuclear power for charging EVs was his plan, so that it becomes carbon neutral, 100% carbon neutral, because the charging is also happening from the clean energy. So, but after the Fukushima, the whole concept failed. The nuclear power plants, a lot of nuclear power plants shut down or shutting down happened. Then they switched to floating. So a lot of floating solar made in Japan. So floating solar generations or PV used to do for charging batteries. The strategy completely changed. So it's very important that how you charge your EVs. Okay. The nuclear, what about waste disposal is the biggest. Yes, of course, there will be issues, but I'm not discussing much on this because I'm not an expert on nuclear energy. Because of the time limitation, thanks for the questions continuously flowing now.
Thank
Professor
you, sir.
Saibi, because
The session, sir. Yeah, you too.
I have a limitation now. Sorry for that, because I have to catch the train.
Before leaving, can we take a screenshot?
Yeah, photograph. Yeah.
I request all the participants to switch on the videos to have a photograph. For 1 second, please. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your covering all the aspects of SDGs in this. Thank you, sir.
One more picture, I have seen a lot of faces now. Thank you. Switch on your camera, please. Professor Saibi can do also. Thank you. It's an honor for me to be here with the eminent professors and faculty attending this faculty development program. I was just sharing what I was practicing, I was doing, commenting on what I feel. So thank you all for listening to me, and please interact with me at ajitgobi@ieee.org. Ajitgobi@ieee.org is my private email. You can read. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So can I leave now?
Sir, you can leave. You can leave, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Dear participants, you can fill the feedback form. We will have a feedback session in another 5 minutes. It's 6:25 p.m. We'll start at 6:30. Please stay.